Hey, good morning. It's Constance Chapman, and I'm. My channel is Inspired Joy Creativity, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about what I've come to understand it means to be an elder. Um, because to me, an elder is someone who listens and doesn't tell. So let me tell you a story about when I was younger. When I was a young adult, my grandmother would give me advice, and she would say, "You do it this way, you do it that way. You should be this way, you should be that way." And I would listen politely because that's what I was taught to do. And then I would go do whatever I wanted to do because I thought, "What does she know about my life?" And then a few years later, I met another elder, a woman who was an anthropology teacher who was doing a summer class at my university. And she did a whole different thing. Instead of telling me what to think, she asked me questions. She asked me very thoughtful questions about the material I was reading or what we were talking about. And she really got me to start thinking about what it is that I thought about the material, not to just recite uh, what it said. And and then she would sometimes have her own opinion and she would say what she thought, but it was never a matter of her telling me that this is the way you should do it, you should think this way. And so what I came away with that from a better understanding of not only what I thought, but what that interaction meant to me, which was that someone really saw me and really appreciated me. So, and that really stayed with me. Um, so the challenge that I have now is that I, knowing that I hold a lot of information, I hold a lot of skills, and the question is not whether I know that stuff. The question is, how do I convey that to other people, and how do I hold that for myself? So recently, I think I've mentioned here before, I started a group called The Deepening, and we look at a spiritual truth every month, and we do some journaling and some meditation on it, and then we actually do some creative work to embody it in our bodies. And one of the women who's been in that group, she loves to paint. She loves it, and she has hand tremors. So when I would demonstrate something, she couldn't do it exactly the way I was doing it because her hands acted differently than mine. So first of all, I spent some time researching about tools that she could use that might make it easier for her. And then I started to change the way I was teaching. Instead of saying, we're going to paint a mandala today and this is how you do it, I would say we're going to paint the energy of wholeness. And here's some ideas. And so then everyone in the group would come up with their own rendition of what that meant to them. So it allowed a lot more freedom on their part, and it allowed some quite amazing work to come forward. And it's not that I don't share my knowledge. I'll still share information about colors and materials and the other things that I've learned along the way. But I'm not telling people that this is the way they have to do it. So so for me, it's really important as an elder to listen and to listen beyond the first what I'm first hearing and to ask real thoughtful questions. And the second thing that's really, really important to me is to really understand the wisdom of the circle so that when we're together doing this work, I know that women are going to learn from one another, that I don't have to hold all the answers. And in fact, I can't do that. And I also know that when more than one person gets together, the wisdom of the whole is much greater than just the sum of the individual parts. And so I really respect that. So for me, when I'm looking and I'm spending time with an elder, one of the things I really look for is whether or not an elder brings light into the room, and whether they really know that they're not the only light and they're really there to help bring forward all the other lights in the room. So thank you for listening, and um, I hope you enjoyed this. And if you have comments on what I've said, please put them in below, and I always forget this, but please, please subscribe to my channel. It gives me the impetus to move forward and to make more content. And I will be posting one soon about the painting that I'm doing. So thank you for listening, and have a beautiful day.